Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And today's video is brought to you by Vivian Blue. They've got a lot of real cool stuff from Japan, including Gunpla that is ready to ship. And by using the link down below, you'll also be directly supporting the channel. Although the one thing that you might not want to buy is the real great Akatsuki Gundam. Because the biggest thing that I saw passing by this week was this video from @Plamode on Twitter. As we feared, the combination of the old Real Great Strike's inner frame with the much bulkier Akatsuki armor wasn't exactly a great match. That inner frame was barely able to keep the Strike Gundam together, and so things only got worse with the Akatsuki Gundam, which then led to Plamode's viral video. It's actually so bad that the first post I saw underneath this video was an announcement for a third-party joint set to fix the official bad joints. And, well, let's face it, it can't get worse than this. From GQUUUUUUX then, we got a poster for the theatrical release of the first 3 episodes. And technically speaking, we also got a new trailer for it, but it's literally just the old trailer again, but now with like new text for the theatrical release. As for the poster, it shows us the GQUUUUUX overlooking the 3 main characters who are sitting amongst the remains of that maybe not probably totally Azaku, the one that we saw appear in the trailer. And amongst the debris, we also see some of Shuji's graffiti art, so it definitely looks like things are about to go down. Oh, and for anyone wondering why I haven't talked about the rumors or like leaks that have been floating around, Bandai has been going pretty hard after anyone who does show anything about them or talks about them, and I don't want any like Gundam news videos taken down. Also, they know where I live. What I can talk about though is something that crossed my mind this week. The name of GQUUUUUX, or more specifically, the spelling of it, seems to be very like random and arbitrary. Like, it's apparently based on quux from programming, sure, but why are there 6 U's in the name? It only seems to be making things more confusing and like hard to Google. So, is there actually going to be a meaning to the 6 U's in GQUUUUUX? For the figure news then, we got some good news for the G Gundam fans, but it does also have a whatever the opposite of a silver lining is. On January the 9th, the Ichiban Kuji G Gundam 30th anniversary will be releasing, and as a reminder, Ichiban Kuji is like a Bandai lottery thing where you always win something. The higher prizes are really impressive, with the lower prizes being more consolation prizes, but still nice little things. One ticket will cost you 900 yen, around 6 US, and they have already announced the 2 biggest prizes. The A prize is a battle-damaged God Gundam doing the Bakunetsu Godfinger. But how you like the battle damage is, I think, going to be a very subjective thing, because to me, it looks like he lost a fight against a cutter knife. And if you then get the last ticket, you'll also win the Hyper Mode version of the figure. And the other prizes will be announced soon. The big downside then is that this is going to be an online exclusive. For the big Char fans in the audience then, on the 13th, pre-orders began for this Char custom date stamp. It has rollers to set the date, there are 8 different designs for the stamps, they can be customized with your last name on it, and of course, it is limited to Japanese premium Bandai. And there might still be an extra problem even if you can get it through proxy buying services. Because the way it works is that when you buy it, you do get like the stamp case and almost everything, but not the actual stamp. You have to fill out the included form and send it off to Shachihata, which is the company that will make you your personalized stamp. The thing goes for 5,940 yen, 39 US, and it is slated for a February release. Significantly easier to get then will be Takanori Nishikawa's newest album. It is called SINGularity 3 Voyage and will have 13 songs, which will of course include some Gundam songs. There's Freedom from Gundam Seed Freedom, and covers from Beyond the Time from Char's Counterattack, and Annani Isho Datta no Ni from the original Gundam Seed. The CD is slated for a February 26th release, and you can get it either as a standard version for 3,500 yen, 23 US, a limited edition with a DVD for 4,950 yen, 32 US, or a limited edition with a Blu-ray for also 4,950 yen, 32 US. And since we're on the topic of Gundam Seed Freedom, a few weeks ago, I talked about that NicoNico Top 100 Internet Buzzwords of 2024 thing. And well, for the people who are tired of Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Freedom, I've got some more bad news because they just released the rankings. Gundam Seed Freedom was their top internet buzzword of 2024, beating out even cat memes in Japan, which came in second, by the way. And then the fifth place went to the Mighty Strike Freedom, so they've got multiple entries that made it into the top. And if we then look outside of the top 10, there's even more in there, like the Destiny Gundam Spec 2 in 11th place, the Zagok in 20th place, Lacus Klein in 27th place, etc., etc. So I don't think Bandai is going to lay Gundam Seed Freedom to rest anytime soon. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, in Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, the Rizel Type C Defensor A unit has joined the fray, while on Steam the Proto Zeta Gundam X1 has become available. In the global version of UC Engage, there's a new combat power augmentation operation, a total war event, and an extreme versus super limited unit assembly, which I do find somewhat funny because on the banner it says Super versus Extreme Limited Unit Assembly. But however you want to call it, it's got a 6% UR rate and contains Super and Extreme Limited Unit Assemblies. And then Gundam Breaker 4 just got a new update, with the biggest change in my opinion being more attack power and ammo for most of the long-range weapons and long-range skills. A lot of people like to go all Dynasty Warriors with their Gundam games, but personally, I like long-range combat. Shocking, I know. Other upgrades then include being able to ground break with great swords, you can send diorama works to the diorama monitor, you can paste labels on the results screen, and the equip pair function for the builder's parts has been improved. Although I do hope that their improvement is better than their spelling, because over the course of 2 sentences, they managed to misspell builder's parts as builder's parts, and they forgot to equip the U in equip. In other news then, we got some pictures of what the Silver Phantom exhibition in Tokyo looks like, and we got the Japanese results for the 12th Gunpla Builders World Cup. The winner for the under 14 category is Yuashi, who made a perfect grade duel that was so convincing that it made the judges wonder if there actually was a retail perfect duel Gundam out there. But no, it was just a very clever modification of the perfect grade Strike Gundam with the side skirts of the Astray. For the under 20 category then, the winner was Hiko Natsu with this very detailed Sazabi diorama that also includes LEDs. And then finally in the over 21 category, FA Green took home the victory with this very intricate Turn X diorama. Not only is it crazy detailed, but the Moonlight Butterfly is also made up of parts from different Gundams, making it a very cool representation of Gundam's history, and of course also fitting very well thematically with Turn A Gundam. And all of these will now be competing in the finals, which will be held on February the 22nd. As for the things you could get this week then, first up on the 13th, we got a twin-tip Gundam marker eraser for 330 yen, 2 US, and the Robot Spirits Gym 2 Earth Federation Forces Colors version anime for 9,350 yen, 61 US. And as the name indicates, this is definitely the most anime accurate version of the Gym 2 around, at least for the Zeta Gundam version. It has those charming retro proportions, and it comes complete with a beam rifle firing effect part, a peg to store it on the back skirt, a beam saber, 2 beam saber blade effect parts, being one standard and one swinging one, a shield, 2 thruster effect parts, and a bunch of hand options. And then from the beginning of the week, the 9th volume of the Mobile Suit Ensemble series has reappeared in gachapon machines across Japan. So once again, for 500 yen a spin, 3 US, you can get yourself the Ground Gundam with 100mm machine gun, the Zaku High Mobility Test Type with Zaku Machine Gun, the Dom with his giant bazooka, a hover truck with a ground gym head, so you can turn your Ground Gundam into Karen's unit, and a weapon set with a heat saber for the Dom, and a bazooka, cannon, beam rifle, and container backpack for the Ground Gundam. For this week's reading material then, the biggest news was probably from Gundam Thunderbolt. The manga will resume serialization in the January issue of Big Comic Superior, and on December 26th, the 5th tankobon volume of Thunderbolt Gaiden will be released. Then there was the Witch from Mercury Mechanics and World book, featuring a lot of mecha profiles and unpublished setting materials, the Gundam Seed series Super Complete Works, which aims to be the complete guidebook for Gundam Seed Destiny, Stargazer, and Gundam Seed Freedom, and also comes with an Infinite Justice Type 2 poster, and the 24th chapter of Gundam Sequel was released for free online and is linked down below. For the apparel news then, or well, this week it's apparel news in quotations because it's all bankore and all acrylic stands. They kick things off on the 13th with a bunch of Endless Waltz big acrylic stands. They go for 2,750 yen each, 18 US, but while they might sound like the perfect Christmas things, they are only shipping out in February. Also, they wrote a warning on the Catra acrylic stand because it actually uses the same artwork as the standard Gundam Wing Catra stand. The only difference between the two is that it says Gundam Wing on one and Gundam Wing Endless Waltz on the other. So poor Catra got shafted. And on the 16th and the 17th then, we got even more acrylic stands, also slated for February. For 1,100 yen each, 7 US, we got even more Gundam Seed Freedom acrylic rings. They have a hole in them so you can slide your finger in to take pictures with, or you can put them on the included stand. And the new ones are Isaac, Diarca, Maru, Mu, Albert, Alexei, and Arnold in their uniform, and Kira, Lacus, Athrun, Kigali, Shin, Luna Maria, Isaac, Diarca, Maru, or Mu in their piloting suit. And for 2,750 yen, 18 US, you can get a big acrylic stand of the 4 Gundam Meisters from the Gundam 00 movie. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. With the upcoming Gundam Seed Freedom Cinema Concert Tour, Gundam.info wants to know what our favorite scene from the movie is. The opening, the party at Foundation, the Zagok's first appearance, or the Mighty Strike Freedom's first appearance. And I am very happy to see that the Zagok is also kicking ass in this poll, because it is in a demanding lead on both Gundam.info and on Twitter. I had a lot of problems with the movie, but the Zagok was not one of them. The Mighty Strike Freedom, though, was. I never was that big of a fan of Overkill, so when the Mighty Strike Freedom pushed it to 11, my popcorn bucket suddenly started looking a lot more interesting than whatever was happening on screen. It might have been way too expensive, but it was integral to my enjoyment of the movie. But for a lot of people, Super Overkill is apparently the right kind of kill because it is still in a comfortable second place. Currently in third place then is the opening, which was really well done, especially with Takanori Nishikawa's song playing. And then in dead last was the Foundation party scene. And, well, with what happened to Lacus there, I'm not surprised that it's not the favorite scene for a lot of people. But if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below. So don't forget to check out Vivian Blue. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.